stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Your mom and dad, I'm doing fine. You guys are on my mind. You asked me what I wanted to be, and now I think the answer is plain to see. I wanna be famous. I wanna live close to the sun. Oh, pack your bags, cause I've already won. Everything to prove, nothing in my way. I'll get there one day. Cause I wanna be famous. Na 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 na. I wanna be famous. I wanna be famous.
Good morning, Roselle Park Panthers. Today is Monday, March 6th, and happy Women's History Month. We are back to bring you all things Roselle Park High School. This Thursday, Roselle Park High School's Future Health Careers Club is hosting a blood drive to support people in need. Let's hear from our very own nurse, Becky, and her club members for more information about the blood drive.
Oh my god, did you hear about this blood drive at Roselle Park High School?
Yeah, I did.
Wait, do you know when it is?
It's a March 9th.
March 9th, that's like not too far away.
Yeah.
Where can I get a permission slip?
In the main office or the library? Right.
What about the nurse's office? Can I get one in there?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, but like I don't know if like I'm able to like donate blood.
I don't know, then you can ask Nurse Becky if you have any questions.
She'll answer everything for me?
Yes, she will.
Alright, perfect.
About the blood drive that is coming up on Thursday, March 9th. Blood donations are super important because over 4.5 million blood transfusions are needed every year just in America alone. Every day, about 40,000 pints of blood are used for a variety of reasons, everything from cancer, different illnesses, burns, trauma, just injuries, and other kind of bleeding disorders. So blood is really important and you can save a lot of lives. How can you guys participate is the next question, right? So you can come down to either my office, you can come to the main office, or you can go to the library and pick up one of these packets. These packets are for 16 and 17-year-old potential donors. The white sheet is for anyone who is 17. That is the only form that needs to be filled out. 16-year-old donors need to fill out the last page of this packet. Very important, the night before you donate, eat a big dinner, and the morning of, you're going to eat a big breakfast as well. Donors need to be in good health with no pre-existing conditions, namely bleeding conditions. Need to also weigh more than 110 pounds. There are more specifics, and if you're looking to learn more, you can come over to the nurse's office, and I'm happy to go through your eligibility. Again, hope to see you guys all on March 9th.
If you are considering donating to the blood drive, you will need to pick up a permission slip from Nurse Becky, the main office or library before Thursday. Please submit it in the nurse's office as soon as possible so they can schedule you a time to donate. We hope you all think about donating blood to our blood drive as it is an important cause and in case of emergencies. Speaking of emergencies, do you guys feel prepared to know how to help yourself or others in times of need? Well, Krod is back to give us some more advice on wound care with his segment. Let's hear from the man himself.
First Aid Krod. First Aid Krod.
All right, so hi again. This is Mr. Kevin Rodriguez, the athletic trainer for Roselle Park High School. Today, I wanted to talk to you about wound care. So basically, wound care is having to take care of any type of open wound, such as a cut. There's different types of wounds out there, but I'm just going to talk about like the minor ones. Nothing too severe. That might be for another day. But so basically, the two types of the most common wounds are the abrasions, also known as a scrape or a turf burn. These tend to be a little superficial, meaning that only scrapes the top layer of the skin. They're very minor. They can bleed some, but the likelihood of infection is obviously there. The other type of wound is the laceration or an incision type of wound. This ranges anywhere from a paper cut to a deep type of cut, penetrating all the way down to the muscle or to the fatty tissue and whatnot. It depends on how much force was behind it, if it was caused by a sharp object or a blunt object or whatever. So again, it all depends, and it ranges in severity as well. But so the very first step in dealing with a wound would be to stop the bleeding. First and foremost, depending on what type of bleed will dictate the type of care that you're going to use. So as an example, say if you have an abrasion or a turf burn or something like that, and it cuts the superficial layer of the skin, the bleeding from that's going to be bright red. And it's going to have a very slow ooze to it, and if it does, then it's going to be very benign. It's going to be very manageable, and it's pretty easy to take care of. But when it's a dark red type of bleed and it has a steady flow to it, then you're kind of flirting around with some danger with that, because now what happened is that you severed a vein. Sorry, a vein. The bleeding from a vein is pretty extensive. It has a steady flow to it, and if it's not managed properly, it can be life-threatening. But again, it depends on the severity as well. Backtracking back to the bleeding from a superficial cut. Usually, they're bright red, has a steady or has a very slow ooze to it. This kind of bleed comes from a capillary blood vessel. All right, capillaries all over the body. They're very superficial. When they bleed, they do have a very slow ooze to it, and it's bright red. And then the last one was a bright red. If you see bright red bleeding, but it spurts, then it's very dangerous because that's coming from an artery. The wound probably went very deep and severed one of the arteries. And now you have a steady or a very high flow, very spurting like a fountain type of bleed. And if this happens, it's very life-threatening. It has to be taken care of right away. Again, but the severe injuries, that's more for another day. Okay, so step 2, after you've taken care of the bleeding, you stop the bleeding. Now you want to focus on cleaning the wound. Contrary to some beliefs, a lot of people like to marinate the wound in antiseptic solutions, hydrogen peroxides and stuff like that. But the number one method of cleaning a wound would be to use regular soap and water. The soap has to be an antibacterial soap, and again, it's like it is the best method of taking care of an open wound. Soap and water will help you debride any type of debris that's in there, any type of foreign material that doesn't belong there, like dirt, mud, grass, whatever. And then after that, patting it dry, putting a light coat of Neosporin on it, and then covering it with a sterile dressing. When I say dressing, I mean like a sterile gauze or like a bacteria-free type of gauze that you could put on the wound and then wrap it up with some kind of like elastic tape or just your regular run-of-the-mill Band-Aids. If soap and water isn't available, like if you're on a hike and you're on a camping trip, your next bet would be to use antiseptics. Now, antiseptics are a good substitute, but the problem with antiseptics is that, especially hydrogen peroxide, is that it kills all of the bacteria that's in the wound. And the problem with that is that when you have an open wound, you have good bacteria and bad bacteria. The good bacteria is trying to kill all the bad bacteria. The bad bacteria will take it longer to heal. Good bacteria will fight it off, and healing will happen faster. Hydrogen peroxide will kill everything. All right. So if you can avoid it, don't use antiseptics, but if that's all you got, then that's all you got. Keeping the wound dry, keeping the wound clean will help prevent infections. If you see anything, if the wound starts turning red, the red spreads, local temperature increases, you see pus discharge coming out of it, then most likely it's infected and you have to go see an emergency room or go to the doctor right away. All right, that's it for now. Thanks for watching.
I definitely feel better and safer knowing that now. Thanks again to Krod for taking the time to film with RPtv. Does that theme song get stuck in anybody else's head or just mine? First Aid with Krod. You know? It gets stuck in your head, you know? That's a wrap for today. Hope you enjoyed our bloody episode. Hope you all have a wonderful day and even better week. We will see you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.